What's ironic, we have commies, freaking party formerly known as Dems, and we got people have a hankering to vote for commies. Meanwhile, the commies, well, they're coming to kick your ass. The commies are coming. They're already here, but more are coming. But you want to vote for them. It's unbelievable. It's freaking insane. You're not going to the victory party with the communists. Quit voting for freaking commies, damn it. This may be shocking news to you. As China and Russia conduct War Games 2019, word has it that China is already in the United States, along with UN troops on U.S. soil, party sheeple and party people. Now, most of us have seen the videos of UN vehicles being transported across the nation, I think on trains, right? But there's very little talk of China being inside the United States. America is being overrun with foreign enemies who have taken up residence on American soil. Believe that or not. This is serious business, folks. The United States is being occupied by foreign entities. Yeah, so is the government occupied by communists that a lot of you out there watching fake news and have a hankering to vote for. Like Pelosi, like Hillary, the spirit cooker, right? And the schools have been taken over by the communists. And the Catholic Church has been infiltrated by the communists. So yeah, many foreign entities. But in this particular, the United Nations, at the root of this covert occupation is the United Nations and the Chinese. The Chinese also contribute the most personnel to the UN peacekeeping force. Okay? They're pretty much one and the same. They're pretty much one and the same. And they're not playing around, folks. They're not playing around. So they're saying a lot of people, word on the street is a lot of people, well, quite a bit of people in the United States are reporting of seeing Chinese troops, UN troops here in America. This is the New World Order. You remember the embassy that took over that building in Utah? Told the residents, well, you have no rights when you walk in here. You have no rights. You have no rights. So it's unbelievable. And by 2030, UN plans to become a political authority, the global political authority on the planet. So the New World Order is rising, folks. Just how in the world are Chinese in the United States? Get the UN out of the U.S. and get the U.S. out of the UN, damn it. The Chinese have been tagged by the UN to be the world's policemen, and ultimately the UN to be the world's policemen, as they work hand in hand. And they plan on taking over or supplanting America's role as, I guess, we're the world's policemen. Watching them train the Chinese military, it's unbelievable for them to reports of them to be on our soil. One woman's account is that her and her husband live in northern Nevada, where it is extremely rural, and she's been wondering if it would do any good to report to anyone what her husband has seen in late August. Right? They were returning from a trip, a 2019 prophecy conference in Lancaster, California, and the route was on 14/395 heading toward Bishop. I guess it's a town in this state. They usually took the back roads of rural areas when traveling whenever they can. This couple was hauling the travel trailer, so they had to travel at a slower pace. Once they entered Bishop, they noticed military helicopters that day were everywhere. One was in the desert storm colors, and they all flew very close to the ground over Bishop and out toward, and this is her account now, her husband's account, toward the mountains, whereas there was nothing out in that way. Why are they going over there? And they asked the RV park, the owner of it, where this couple was staying, was there a military base nearby? And he replied the closest one was in Ridgecrest, miles and miles away. Next morning, a siren went off. Her account, this is her account, leading up to, I guess, where they sighted Chinese military. Siren went off, and why the siren? Well, sometimes it signifies an accident, the owner said, the RV, or a fire. But this time, it was neither, all right? And it went on longer than ever, the siren. All right, so then her account, as I'm reading it, basically, as they were traveling towards Eureka, Nevada, coming back from their prophecy trip in California, they spotted a black vehicle that headed towards this mountain. There was nothing over there. Why is it helicopters and such over there? And this vehicle tearing through, which had a rocket launcher on it. It was equipped for launching rockets. And it turns out to find out that this was military, but not ours. And so, if China owns a lot of California, and you know they own Heliweird, they took that over. So you can see that, it makes sense that they would be here in some military capacity, in a way. Now, my question is, how does that pass our military? Or is our military allowing them in? Why would our government allow foreign troops in? I mean, I know we got the UN, which is foreign. We got a lot of commies in government, which is foreign to us, in my opinion. I don't count them as American. But to hear people give accounts of seeing Chinese troops and UN troops on, which is pretty much one and the same in America, that's pretty strange. And in a remote area is where they're home to. Very well armed United Nations peacekeepers. Why would we need United Nations peacekeepers in America? Why do we need anything other than our own military to protect us? So something strange is going on here. And then you got truck drivers saying that they spotted these, Chinese in large numbers on back roads out in the country. And then you think about the sleeper cells, the terrorists, allegedly, in our country. Or they were training camps, too, even in Alabama and Georgia, of terrorist camps. Why is that allowed? I mean, if the government knows every little thing about us through the Wi-Fi, LED lights, the Internet of Things, the 5G, the cell towers, the cell phones, the smart, not so smart appliances, if they could keep tabs on us like that, you're going to tell me they don't know that they have terrorist cells, sleeper cells in this country? Or is it being allowed? What's going on? What's the frequency, Kenneth? It's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. And then there's this radio station. This freaking radio station, let me get you the number. 93.7 FM in Prineville, Prineville, Oregon. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, listeners have heard from intermittently Chinese, put in quotes, coded numbers, alternating with the same on Russian coded numbers, coming out of 93.7 FM at 3 in the morning. The owner is out of San Francisco. He's a pilot, which, where's he flying to? And he said he's just trying to attract listeners. I guess Chinese and Russian listeners. That doesn't make any sense. At 3 o'clock in the morning. So there's that. And the Chinese, they took over a port in California. The Chinese have taken over, I can't believe I'm actually saying this, Port of Long Beach, where they've been bringing in military personnel types for some time until President Trump stopped the practice. Until President Trump stopped the practice. Let me stop right there. Because we get a lot of fake news, the Microsoft LSD and the Commie News Network types. But we also get a lot, not a lot, but we got some that say, they're concerned about the chemtrails, you're concerned about the vaccines and the rollout of 5G, which is a chief concern. But as I stated again, time and again, does President Trump know the detriments of these things? Do you have footage of him being sat down, told of all the detriments, and he still says, I don't care, let's still roll it out, let's still spray the skies? You see what I'm saying? At any rate. It's also compartmentalized government. He also gets advised, he could be getting ill-advised or just not getting the advice he needs concerning that. You got to consider that. So he's not a bad guy, the way he's being painted. It irks me to no end. He stopped them, he says here, he stopped them, the practice of the Chinese bringing the military. But are they still here is the question. I guess they still are, right? They still are. Well, that leads me to something else. By the way, don't be fake news. All right? Don't be fake news. And then there's the Henry Groover vision that God gave him of a Russian invasion, Russian taking over America. Now think about that. He was given that vision 30 years ago. I think about in the Red Dawn release of that movie time, or probably a little bit after that. But he was given a vision of Russian invasion of America and a Chinese one simultaneously. Now I just mentioned that the Chinese are here, right? But the Ruskies are coming. The Ruskies are coming, according to the vision. And I wondered during the, when Russia goes against, Israel in the latter days, where was America into that? Where was America? I don't know. Woe unto the shadow with wings? I don't know. But America was taken out, and I always thought it could be maybe the rapture. Because I'll say roughly, maybe, not even close, but there's millions and millions of Americans. If they get raptured off off of Earth, I mean, that's going to severely weaken the country. Don't you think? But maybe it's not that. Maybe it's a preemptive strike by China and Russia to take us out, the U.S., and then Russia goes after Israel. Could be. Because all we know is the whole world comes against Israel. There's a lot of Israeli anti-sentiment, terrible sentiment now rising. And even in the truth community, I can't believe it. They blame Israel for everything, just like they blame Trump. Oh, it's Trump's fault for chemtrails. It's Trump's fault for vaccine. It's Trump's fault for 5G. Gee, really? Really? So this shit wasn't around 5 years ago? Cell towers? and the constant progression in technology? That's not good? Chemtrails, that's a new phenomenon. Only past couple of years has that been going on. I mean, it's a freight train. Can you stop this freight train? It's possibly, and one man can only do so much. I just mentioned that he stopped the Chinese from coming in that port, right? The military. Now, they might still be here for whatever reason. I don't know. It could be all part of this UN plan. I mean, why the hell is the UN taking over a building in Utah? So there are a lot of questions, but there's only so much one person could do. Does he even know there are Chinese troops here? I mean, has the left hand told the right one what it's doing? I doubt it. Has he been advised of that? I doubt it. Just like has he been advised of the detriments of chemtrails? Does he even know about it? Does he know about 5G's detriments? Again, does he know about the vaccine, Section 13, that's unseen? Because the healthcare provider, put in quotes, doesn't give it to him. Anybody. All right? About the detriments of vaccines. So, I'm not going to go there until I have proof. You got to have proof. You can't just pull it out of your arse and say, Trump didn't do this, Trump didn't do that, he didn't get rid of 5G, he didn't get rid of this, he didn't get rid of that. He might not know about it. He might be like a kid at the candy store when it comes to this technology. Because he does want to be number one in everything. He just doesn't know the detriments of the 5G. You think he knows that? How do you know? You got proof? I don't have proof that he knows. But here's a vision of Henry Groover talking about the U.S. being taken out. All right? And it makes sense. Then they could go after Israel. Because if they try to go after Israel now, Magog, right? The U.S. will come to his defense. Now, ultimately, God says he puts hooks in Russia's jaws and bring it to Israel, and then he'll destroy a majority of the military. And it'll take 7 months to get them buried, something like that. But the thing is, if China is here and the Ruskies are coming, and both are working in tandem, side by side, doing joint war games with each other, practicing war games. Both of them have the intranet, and they're up to something. All right, they're up to something, and it makes a lot of sense that. And they're both working on super EMPs. So who are they working it on for, huh? Well, according to Henry Groover, it's you, it's me, it's we. It's the United States. It's unbelievable, folks. And this could happen in the next several years. It might happen after Trump leaves office. Oh, ye who want Trump out. Oh, ye who think that he's not doing good for the country. Believe me, he's offsetting a lot. God put him in here for a reason. It's not going to be perfect, folks. You're still going to get chemtrailed until we reach critical mass awareness. Then, when millions upon millions upon millions, the entire world realizes it's been sprayed like a roach, then you'll see some action. All right? So it's up to us in that context, in the 5G awareness too. And get his attention. But anyway, yes, according to vision Henry Groover, God gave him, America will be attacked. And even John Walvoord, who's a preacher, God rest his soul, I had a book that I read, he wrote it in the 80s, saying that America will be taken out, will be severely weakened, right just before the tribulation. That we will be just nothing to even consider. No longer a military superpower. So there's that, folks. There's a vision. Go look it up. Henry Groover. Henry Groover. The vision that God gave him in 86 to 86, the U.S. I mean, this is insane. Time to wake up, folks. Get your soul right with Jesus. Get your soul right with Jesus, because your last breath on terra firma is your first one in eternity, whether up or down. If you reject Jesus before men, he'll reject you before the Father. And pull the lever. Going down, into where the worm dieth not, and the smoke rises riseth up, forever and ever and ever. You want that? Better get your soul right with Jesus, get saved. It's unfreaking real. Until next time, do your homework on Henry Groover. Receive the shock treatment.